Hey coin collectors, welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 2002 United States penny, the Lincoln 1 cent coin, and we're going to talk about a question we got from a viewer, and that is it okay if I draw a mustache on a Lincoln penny? And first off, you'd say, okay, why would you even want to? Second off, you'd say, well, it's going to be pretty hard. Let's see if there's actually even a way to draw a mustache on there. I guess helpful, but I think what they were talking about really was, is it a crime to deface U.S. coins? And that's a really good question, because there is a law, and it's U.S. Code 18 U.S. Code Section 331, federal crime to fraudulently alter, deface, mutilate, impair, diminish, falsify, scale, or lighten coins minted in the U.S., including, of course, the 2002 penny. But the law focuses on what the intent of defacing it was. This is not going to be, unless the intent was fraudulent, to try to trick or fool somebody, then it's not going to be a crime to deface a coin. What about cutting them in half? So what we've done sometimes is we cut these in half to show that the old coins were copper all through the center, and the new coins are zinc in the center. Cutting it in half, not if we're not trying to create a fraud or trick somebody. So you can do this with your pennies. What about the pennies? What about the quarters and the other stuff where they put this stuff on them? This is one of those 3D ones. It's kind of cool. But this is like a regular quarter. What if you take this quarter and you dip it into some kind of gold-like substance, and then you put this 3D thing on the back? Is that a crime? Is that to fraudulently alter? It turns out that it's not. You can actually buy these coins online. I don't know what you'd want to do with them, but you can buy these coins online. I guess maybe they look pretty good. Or if you just dip it in, like some of these, you see some of these gold-coated coins. Here's the Alabama quarter from 2003. You can do this, and it's not against the law. So it's not a crime to change it up a little bit or put a mustache on Lincoln or whatever, but it's not going to add to the value. It's only if you try to sell it and represent it as something other than what it was. And you see that sometimes when you're looking at the coins at the tourist sites where they smush the penny down and imprint the like Grand Canyon on it or something like that. That's not a crime either, as long as you're not trying to fraudulently trick somebody with the use of that coin. I mean, it's essentially ruining the use of the penny if you flatten it out like that. This penny, you could still use it. And let's use them while we can, because they're going to stop making them. So what about the 2002 coins? Well, in 2002, they made it to San Francisco Mint, and it's a proof coin, and you can see that this is a pretty deep cameo proof. Certainly a cameo, maybe a deep cameo proof. This is from the Denver Mint, and you can see that it has the D right there. And then here's one from the Philadelphia Mint. And remember, in 2002, they didn't put a mint mark for Philly. Well, how many of these did they make? And what are they worth? Well, the 2002 Philly, they made $3.2 billion, and the auction record is $595. But right now, if you were going to get the best one that they've ever graded, which is a Mint State 67, it'd be worth about $165. So the best Philly's probably worth about $165, according to the Professional Coin Grading Service. What about the best Denver? Well, the best Denver, they made $4 billion of those. The best Denver is worth about $140 at a Mint State 69. And then the one that's probably worth the most, if you're talking about a 2002 coin, is the 2002 San Francisco Mint coin, which only came as a proof coin. They made 2.27 million of them, so not that many. The auction record is $6,613, and I'm not sure where that came from. It was a heritage auction. But if you look now, the best coin you can possibly get, a Proof 70, highest grade by PCGS for the San Francisco Mint, $54. So not huge values to these coins. $54 for the best San Francisco, $140 for the best Denver, $165 for the best filly that they found so far. Now again, these coins, you see it right there, it's the smooth edge, and we looked at that coin. This is one of the coins that came after they started coating the zinc. How can you tell? Well, there's a couple different ways. The first is you get a coin like this and you tip it, and when you get the light just right on here, you can actually see the pores of the zinc coming through the copper. See that? So that's the zinc underneath, because the zinc underneath's not smooth. Remember, it looks kind of like this. And so they take this zinc core, they pour the copper on top of it, and when they do, the zinc absorbs some of the copper, and it gives you this bumpy surface. So that's one of the ways you can tell. The other way you can tell is you can weigh it. A 2002 penny weighs 2.5 grams, where one of the earlier copper pennies, such as this one here, here's a 1982, this weighs 3.1 grams. So 3.1 grams versus 2.5 grams between the zinc covered and the 97% copper pennies. Are there any real good ones out there that we can get? Once in a while you'll find a error coin or some other coin that may have some value in terms of collecting value, but other than that, these are not hugely expensive coins, and they just haven't found any really great fillies. The best one they found is the Mint State 67. You know, you'd want to get somewhere a 68 or 60, Mint State 68 or Mint State 69. Might be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but we just haven't had anybody submit any that have been graded yet so far. All right, well, that's it for today for our United States Lincoln penny. Yes, you can deface them. You can put a mustache on a Lincoln. Try to do a better job than I did on this. You can still use them, and use them while you can, because it looks like 2025 is going to be the last year that they ever make Lincoln pennies. And they, at some point in time, they're going to probably stop accepting them for purchases or giving them back in change. All right, have a great day from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section